Hey, what's up, guys? Got a quick review for you for a movie I never heard of before. Shout Factory announced it, and that's called Sarah T. Portrait of a Teenage Alcoholic. Literally, the only reason I wanted this is because Linda Blair was in it, and I'll pretty much buy anything she's in. And it was a Scream Factory release I'd never heard of, but upon opening it, actually, it's not Scream Factory; it's just a Shout Factory release. So if I would have known that, I probably still would have got it just because of Linda Blair. But uh, I didn't really know what to expect with this. I knew it was a TV movie. One thing I didn't know when I had got it, though, that this was directed by Richard Donner from Superman and stuff, and he had to do with like Tales from the Crypt and all that. So that's pretty cool. But I decided to pop it in and see what it was about. I was expecting not too much, and I still gotta say I was kind of disappointed. Maybe the movie just isn't for me. I don't know. I guess this was geared towards parents though, because they get real preachy with like check your teens or whatever. They're drinking young and blah blah blah. So it was geared towards parents, I think, but it was kind of a boring watch in my opinion. Like a brief synopsis, it's typical TV movie preachy after school special type stuff back then. But Linda Blair, she's 15, and she ends up dating Mark Hamill, and this had to have been one of Mark Hamill's first roles because he looked real young in it. But she ends up dating him, and they go to this party, and she ends up drinking, and then she ends up sneaking alcohol at like her parents' parties, and she starts to become addicted and starts drinking at school and stuff, and it just escalates from there. And it even gets to the point where she starts like trading her body pretty much for a bottle of liquor or whatever. That's about as low as it goes, I think, for her in the movie. It doesn't get explicit or anything like that. It's you know what I mean. It doesn't get really deep. It doesn't really show anything. It implies a lot of stuff, and in my opinion, I've seen some kind. I don't remember what it was made for. I saw it in school, or I don't remember exactly where I saw it, but it was a movie like this, except it wasn't alcohol. It was a woman that gets like addicted to drugs, and she ends up doing like gangbangs, all this crazy stuff. And it wasn't Requiem for a Dream, but it was like a movie like this, like something made for TV or made for a school or something. And it hit me harder than this did. Like this didn't really have any kind of effect on me at all. Maybe just because I'm past the age, or I really don't know, but anyways, yeah, that's what it is. And then she ends up meeting a doctor who believes in her and wants her to get better. That's when it gets real preachy and all that. But the movie really just kind of it draws it all out. Like there's a lot of filler. It feels like it takes a while to get going. Like 45 minutes really before you start seeing any kind of problems. Like it's really just introducing her and her family, and her family's unlikable in my opinion. Even though they're trying to do good, they're still unlikable. Really, it's only cool seeing Linda Blair, and if you're a Mark Hamill fan, it's cool seeing a young Mark Hamill. But I personally can honestly care less about Mark Hamill. Like I like his Joker voice, but I'm not into Star Wars or anything like that, so it really does nothing for me. But it's cool to have it. Richard Donner directed it. It's typical made-for-TV stuff back then. There's a lot of melodrama in it. There's a lot of kind of corny acting when it comes to the drama, but it was normal back then. Now, if I got to give this props, it would be the acting overall on everybody's part. Like, it seems made for TV movies back then had better acting than they do now and stuff, and they actually got good actors and all that. And Linda Blair obviously did a good job, although I will say she's kind of annoying in this movie a little bit. She has like a real whiny, shrieky voice, and she uses it a lot in this. In most movies I've seen her in, it's not as annoying, but seems extra annoying in this. Maybe because in The Exorcist and Sorceress and all that, she doesn't talk that much. But even in Savage Street, she was good. She wasn't annoying, but in this, she's brutally annoying to me. Uh, New interview with special features though. There's a new interview with the director Richard Donner. A new interview with Linda Blair. That's pretty cool seeing her now, and a new 2K scan of the original film elements. The movie looks really good. It's the same quality as a normal movie. Only problem is it's in 4:3, which isn't a problem to me. I don't care about that. It's a full screen image, basically because it was made for TV back then, and they had squared TVs. So you know what I mean. It's not going to fill up a widescreen TV. So just know that going in. Came out in 1975. This was like I said, I never heard of it, so I don't know how big the movie was or anything, but it has some cool stars in it. You know, it's an okay movie. Now, would I pay $25 for it? No. But if you see it used, or if you see it for like 10, $15, I'd say go ahead and pull the trigger on it, just for the Richard Donner and seeing Linda Blair in a main role, because she didn't have a whole lot. So, yeah, that's it. Sarah T. Portrait of a Teenage Alcoholic, released by Shout Factory. Anyways, guys, peace.